Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, have you ever thought about becoming a motivational speaker or a speaker of any kind, talking about your business? We're going to talk to a leading national expert next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team. And the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, they say the number one fear in America is fear of public speaking, and the number 2 fear is fear of death. And if you die on stage, which I have many, many times, you can accomplish both. But seriously, public speaking is such a rewarding use of your time. Not only can you build your business, you're building your thought leadership, you're building your brand. There's a dozen different reasons why you might consider getting over your fear of public speaking. To talk about that today, Toni Caruso. Thank you for coming on the show. She's a speaker, she's a trainer, she's an event producer, and she's my friend.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Okay, let's talk about your history with public speaking. Now, did you start your business as a public speaker, or did it kind of organically come together?
I started my business as an event producer. Caruso Signature Events was born, and I was in the back of the room for many, many years, in corporate and then with entrepreneurs later on in life. And I found that a lot of speakers didn't know what they didn't know. They were not maximizing their impact when they were on the stage. They didn't know what questions to ask, and they didn't really get the success when they walked off the stage that they were really looking for. And so I saw this little niche in there, so I started my Academy for Speakers. And then when 2020 hit and all the events went down the tube, I pivoted and I took my Academy for Speakers and took it virtual and started a coaching program, which then led me to moving to Dallas. And now I am the executive director of the eWomen Speakers Network. So we kind of married the two things under eWomen.
Absolutely, and eWomen has always been an important part of my life as an entrepreneur. We've got a little video because the biggest speech I ever gave was to an eWomen Network event of 3,000 women. You can see them all blowing bubbles. Those represent press releases. But what a high for me. Kim and Sandra Yancey, who started eWomen Network now, how many years ago? 23 years ago. Yeah, just an amazing organization filled with amazing people. And I think one of the most important things they're doing is what Toni is doing, which is teaching people how to overcome their fear of public speaking and monetizing their career as a public speaker. So let's talk about the events that you hold. You hold, in fact, you just had an event in Denver, is that right?
Correct. We Speakonomics.
Okay.
And it's the economics of speaking. So we brought in experts to talk about how to tell your story, how to brand yourself as a speaker, how to use social media to become an expert in your field. You know a lot about that. And just how to package yourself so you can stand out from the crowd. Because you can spend your whole life going one-to-one. Why not do one-to-many? Get on stage and have an audience of your ideal clients where you're sharing your message. It's an amazing way, and it is the fastest way to build your business.
Absolutely. We've got some video from a Speakonomics event several years ago, but you can see on this video just how much fun everybody's having. I think that was at the Hotel Intercontinental here in Dallas, and that's Lisa Nichols.
Yes.
A very famous speaker. So what will they experience when they go to one of your events?
Well, what I love is a workshop environment. I want you to not only learn, but to do. So you walk out with things that you've done instead of a notebook filled with notes that you never look at again. So we work on what is your 11-word message? How can you brand yourself across all your media platforms along with your website, and to get the topics and the takeaways that you are going to offer an event producer. And then, the questions to ask to make sure that you're maximizing. We're going to do it all together, and we have a whole panel that is coming to Dallas, and you're part of that panel.
Thank you.
And talk about podcasting, why you should be on podcasts, why you should have your own podcast. We're just going to get that workshop feel to where you can get one-on-one with the speakers, ask the questions that you want to ask, and get them answered.
So I'm curious about your own journey, because you're in the back of the room, you're watching all these other speakers who are, doing one thing, wrong, and they're not monetizing it and they're not converting. Did you have to overcome your own fear of public speaking to actually get out there yourself?
Well, it was really hard. And Sandra Yancey, I have to give all credit to her. When I started the coaching program, I said, well, I'm going to keep a couple of my event clients because I really like them. And she said, Toni, you can't be thought of in the front of the room if you're sitting in the back. And she was absolutely right. I have never been afraid of being in the front of the room. My mother used to say, don't give her a mic. She can stand up on a stage. Everybody can hear her. So there's no fear of speaking for me, but my fear comes from making sure that the information I'm giving is up to date, it's understandable, and that I am actually giving things to the audience that they can use. So I've learned how to do my storytelling and how to make sure that the takeaways are understandable and easy to do, and just understand that the amount of time on stage has a lot to do with what you can share. A 20-minute talk is going to be different than a 45-minute and a 90-minute. So it's all those little nuances.
Sure, absolutely. And if you sign up for one of her events, and we'll give the website in a minute, this is a taste of what you'll get.
Raise your hand if you're a speaker. Everyone should have their hand raised. Whether you know it or not, every business interaction is a speaking opportunity. Whether it's your Zoom box, your networking events, your one-on-one lunches, a phone call, they are all stages. Whether you're speaking one-to-one or one-to-many. But are you prepared? Sandra Yancey always says, prepare to be ready so that when you're ready, you'll be prepared. No statement is truer than when you are a speaker. I should know. I have been producing events for over 30 years. I have put thousands of speakers onto hundreds of stages. Some were prepared, some not so much. But how do you show up prepared? I have 5 tips. The first one, you need a speaker one sheet. That is a simple form that tells the booker who you are, what you do, and why you should speak on their stage. Is yours showing you in the best light? For example, your headshot. When was the last time you had it taken? If it's over a year, you need a new one. You need to look like you when you are on stage. And if you are being promoted on social media, on an event page, in the program, and you don't look like the person that's going to walk on the stage, you are telling the audience that you're inauthentic. Number 2, your topic. Is it juicy? Is it engaging? Are people leaning in and they want to learn more? Stop doing the, I can 10K your business in 10 days. Get the top 10 problems that your ideal clients are currently experiencing. And how are you uniquely qualified to solve those problems? Then pick the top 3. Those are your topics. Your ideal client will see themselves and go, ooh, I need to hear from her. I need to learn more. Number 3, what's the takeaway? What are the 3 to 5 things the audience is going to learn once you step on that stage? What can they put into action immediately when they walk out the door? Not what are they going to have to buy from you so that you can do better. Event planners want their audiences to be motivated, inspired, and ready to move their business forward. And if people are walking away with information they can take and put into action immediately, you're going to be golden. Number 4, who are your ideal clients? Are they men? Are they women? Are they C-suite corporate executives? Or are they entrepreneurs? We need to stop speaking to audiences that do not resonate with our messages. We are wasting our time. Find an audience that matches what your ideal client should look like. And that's who you should be speaking to. You're going to get the experience, and it's going to resonate with you. You're going to have an amazing experience, and people are going to love you for it. And finally, can you walk and talk? I want to see a video of you speaking. Are you standing there? Are you engaged? Can you move around the audience? Or do you stand behind the podium, frozen solid? I want to know that you are going to engage my audience, that you are going to get them energized, that you are going to teach them something, and that you are going to match who they are. We want it to be a win-win for everyone. Speaking is the fastest way to grow your business. If you are not doing it now, you need to be. So you need to be prepared so that you can be on point, on message, and on brand. And once you are, man, you are going to kill it on the stage. And you are going to get the standing ovation you truly deserve.
And I wanted to play the whole clip because I wanted to show people that you're actually giving away great tips. I've gone to so many events, and you have too, where the speaker just kind of teases.
Right.
And if you buy my program,
Right.
it's in my book, and,
Yeah.
and you leave not knowing anything.
Well, that's my one pet peeve, is that, you get, free 90-minute webinar, and you get on it, and they're like, we're going to go into that later, we're going to go into that later, and we're going to go into that later when you spend $20,000. You're not getting any substantial information. My workshops are really geared on giving. None of our speakers sell from the stage. It's not something we believe in at eWomen Network. They can offer a free gift. You can talk to them later about, I'd like to work with you. I think you're amazing. That's great. But it's all about giving first, sharing always, and lifting the audience as you climb. So the idea is for them to go, oh my gosh, I have learned 3 great things today. You don't have to learn everything, but if you go away with 1, 2, 3 things that you can put into action immediately, the day was totally a success.
So tell me, who's a good candidate for one of your workshops?
Well, I think everybody should be a speaker. So if you don't consider yourself a speaker, next time you pick up the phone, think about it, you're speaking. So if you don't know how to talk to your ideal clients or to have people understand what you do in a short period of time, we all have to network. We know that networking is the key to building your business. So if you cannot engage people in that 1 minute, in 30 seconds, to where they want to get to know you better, then you need to work on your messaging. You need to work on your branding. So that's what we want to do. We want to make you look good in any situation, whether you're just starting out, whether you're just going to use speaking for networking, or whether you want to step on that stage and you want to get in front of people and really maximize your audience and your authority and your expertise.
And you've got some great testimonials. Here's one.
Hi, I am Gentry Potter with Red Carpet Rides, and I help women to have a safe and quality driving experience. And I just want to tell you, why do you need to be here? Well, first of all, I didn't want to be here this morning. Confession. I know, am I the only one? I don't know. I was really just feeling like a lot has been going on in my world, and the negative voices in my head were talking loudly and telling me, you don't belong here. You don't belong in this room. But I will tell you why you belong in this room. I realized from the experiences that I've had today, from the conversations that I've had at my table, from the conversations that I've had as women have come up to me, given me a hug and said hello, from the speaker panel, from the guest speakers that have come up here today, I gained clarity on my message. I gained clarity on who I serve. I gained clarity on who I serve, why I'm here, and just so many things have come out of it. It's been a massive, amazing day, and that all happened in the first half of day 1. So we still have day 2, and it's the first event in Denver. So thank you, Toni, and thank you, Sandra Yancey, for this amazing opportunity with Speakonomics.
Wow, that's amazing. I know you have to be so thrilled when you hear that kind of stuff.
I must say that it was probably one of the best events I've ever done. The women in the room, they really connected. If you write a book, or if you have a podcast, or if you are a speaker, don't come thinking that, I'm not going to learn anything. There's nothing new out there. There's always something new to learn, but the connections you make in the room, that's where the money is. That's where the beauty is of this event, because you're connecting with people that are in the industry, either doing what you want to do, or they can hire you.
Sure.
So there were some really great collaborations going on.
And I would submit that never before in the history of the the universe has the quality of being able to command presence and
Right.
walk up with swagger, regardless of whether you're speaking to a big audience or even a boardroom.
Right.
People will look at you and see fear. And if they see fear, it's hard to inspire anybody.
Exactly.
Right? So talk about some of the intangibles and the gift of confidence that attending one of your workshops gives.
Well, I think it's important to understand that authenticity is key right now. People want people to be honest with them. So gone are the days of the guy that runs on the stage and he takes the deep breath and, hey, what are we going to do today? That kind of feel. We want people to come up and we want them to tell their stories. We want to understand who they are, where they've been, and why should we believe them? Why should we work with them or hire them, etc.? Because it is experiences that we all remember. You know, facts tell, stories sell. So if you can tell your story in a way that is motivating, inspiring, brings on an emotion, because you got to get the audience to feel. And if you can just go up there and be honest with them, they're going to want to love you. They don't come to these workshops to judge you and to say, oh yeah, I'm just going to go there and I'm going to check off my little list of things I don't like about the speaker. They want to be in the room. They want to hear from you and they want to learn. So go up there with a really giving heart, and don't go up there to sell or to close. Go up there just to give and to share, and the audience feels what you feel. If you feel nervous, they feel nervous. If you feel anxious, they feel anxious. So figure out how it is that you can use those nerves and stop telling yourself that, oh, I'm scared. No, I'm excited. This is going to be great. Change it in the mindset and you're going to knock it out of the park.
Outstanding. In the little time we have left, let's plug the Dallas event. When is it coming up again?
April 27th and 28th here in this building.
Here in this building, and give us again, what are some takeaways? What are they going to learn?
Well, they are going to learn how to not only clarify their message, but understand how to package themselves, because there are so many people right now that want to be speakers. Just, you know, Google public speaking and you are going to get all these coaches. Everybody wants to be a speaker. So how do you stand out in a sea of experts and authorities? What makes you uniquely qualified to talk about what you talk about? And we are going to niche you down and get your message clear so that you're very clear in your mind what you're going to talk about. We're going to have your topics all laid out for you. We're going to have your ideal clients and your audience laid out. We're going to show you a roadmap for you to just follow so that you can really maximize that impact when you get on stage.
Outstanding. We're going to end with the website, which is speakonomics.net. The great Toni Caruso, thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. I love you.
Love you back. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.